Having me.
Looks like we are going to start you off with Nolan King with USA Today.
Great.
Hey Calvin, how's it going, man? I appreciate the time. You've had big fights before. You've had a main event in the UFC. Does this feel like a bigger than usual opportunity here, like kind of like a showcase fight, so to speak?
No, they're all big. Every time I step in there, it's a big moment opportunity for me. This one, we're the main event. It's great. It's good to have this opportunity in front of me. But Dan Ige, tough opponent. It's my time. I'm going to go out and get the job done come Wednesday.
How nice is it not to have to wait? I mean, you went through a bunch of fight cancellations for the Stevens fight, and now you get a quick turnaround. Nothing goes wrong. You have the opponent in front of you that you signed up to fight originally. How nice is that?
It's crazy when that happens, huh? Yeah, last one was like a 5-month camp, three shows turnover, and yeah, definitely it's nice to have one quick turnaround. There's pros and cons to each. We were able to really dial in for Jeremy, and I felt like by the time I got in there, it was just ready to go. And it's a nice change of pace to get a quick turnaround and have him show up and do his part. Now let's just see, which he should make weight, but that's the last of it.
For sure, man. And coming along with the big fights, you get bigger contracts. You just re-signed with the UFC. How happy were you with that deal and to be able to extend with them for a bunch more fights?
Yeah, I'm really happy. My manager Tyson Chartier set that up, and here we are, 6-fight opportunity, and it's always just the next fight ahead of me. And right now it's all Dan Ige, and just gonna go out and show why I'm one of the best in the division.
For sure, man. And I wanted to get your thoughts too. Obviously you're out there doing your thing, preparing, but I don't know if you had a chance to watch the title fight in your division over the weekend. What were your thoughts on it if you did check it out, and did you agree with the decision?
I thought Max might have won it, but it was close, man, in that third round. I have to rewatch it to really get my opinion, but it was very close. I think if you scored it as one whole round, one big fight, instead of each individual round, I think you got to give it a Max. He controlled the cage the whole fight, dropped him once in the first round, once in the second round. I think if you look at the fight as just a one big whole, I think Max might have won it, but the scoring is the way it is, and the result happened the way it did.
Last question for me. If you go out there and you get the W, where do you think a win puts you in the division? Obviously, you're going to be in the title conversation there, but give me your take on that.
Just a big win over Dan Ige puts me one step closer to ultimately becoming the champion of the UFC in the featherweight division. So that's my goal, bring that belt back home to Boston, and a win over Dan Ige is just a step in the right direction.
Appreciate the time, Calvin. Good luck, man.
Thanks, Nolan.
Next up, we have Paul Honda of the Honolulu Star Advertiser.
Honolulu. Uh-oh, this one sounds a little biased.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate greatness. It doesn't even matter where you're from, man. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I know you're not in Vegas. I know you're not gambling and stuff, but those guys say you're the big favorite. And, that can be a little tricky if you care about it, and it probably is a little bit of a motivation for anybody who's an underdog, especially Danny. How do you think about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, good thing for me. I don't care about it.
Yeah. Okay, and then your nickname. How did you get it? Do you embrace it? Boston finisher?
Yeah, locally I fought some kid from New York, and they wanted to do the whole Boston New York thing because the rivalry is real back home. I don't know if you know about it, but yeah. So the promoter just kind of hyping it up. They called me the Boston finisher, and it stuck for a while, and might have been on its way out the door if I hadn't got a finish in Boston. So my manager said, if I don't get a finish, man, they're gonna call you the Boston Decisionator. So I had to start rifling off some wins, and now here we are, most finishes in the featherweight division since I debuted.
It's interesting too. Your background as a wrestler. Dan began as a wrestler, and his high school coach told me he started a little bit late. He started as a junior in high school, but you get to this point now. You're known as one of the best punchers in UFC or in the featherweights. Can you describe what that process is like to go from wrestling to becoming a great puncher? And do you still have some of that stuff in your bag of tools that might show up on Wednesday?
Yeah, definitely. When I wrestled in high school, I was always a scrappy kid, and never the most technically sound, but I felt like everybody I lost to, if I could have just punched them in the face, I could have won, you know? And here I am, fast forward this many years later, I found my sport, and I feel at home.
Okay, well, thanks very much. It's a pleasure. Best
All right.
wishes.
Good talking to you. Thank you.
Next, we have Damian Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Calvin. Dan has made a lot going into this fight. You know, the respect he has for you taking this fight, considering he's behind you in the rankings. I don't think you're a guy who really turns down opportunities, but do you appreciate that, you know, he kind of said that, he kind of, you know, brought it up, that you didn't have to take this fight?
Yeah, it's what it is, man. I'm here to compete against the best guys in the world. You know, Dan's done what he had to do to the last 6 guys. He earned this shot too. So I think we're similar in the fact that many people overlooked us and didn't think we'd have this opportunity ahead of us. And, you know, many people probably doubted us along the way. And here we are, is the main event, Abu Dhabi Fight Island. So now it's just simply me going out and showing why I'm the better fighter.
Kind of a similar question I asked to Dan. You guys are fighting, you know, for a second time during this kind of pandemic. You obviously had the big win over Jeremy Stephens, and now you're the main event of this card. A lot of the top featherweights, unfortunately, have been kind of sidelined. You know, Ortega and Zombie have been talking, but they're not fighting. And obviously, we've heard rumors about Zabit and Yair, but again, nothing, as far as I know, is 100% confirmed. I mean, were you happy to stay active? It is also frustrating that some of the top guys aren't as active.
Nah, man, that's it. There's a lot of talking going on and not a lot of fighting. And I think you see guys like Dan Ige, myself, wanting to be busy. It shows who's hungry, and that type of mindset pays dividends in the long run. So, you know, people can stay inactive as they want, and we'll catch up to them all eventually.
You know, you've mentioned about what kind of finisher you are, and one thing Dan has shown in all his fights is he has incredible toughness. He took some shots from Edson Barbosa that probably would have put a lot of guys out. Do you enjoy facing that kind of guy? And does it kind of raise the level of challenge for you to go out there and get a finish over a guy like Dan, who has been shown to, you know, has shown incredible durability?
Yeah, Jeremy Stephens showed incredible durability over the course of his career as well. But I just take what these guys give me. I go out and fight like I fight, and finishes come. I try not to force them, and you know, just my style of fighting. If I see the opportunity, I strike, and we'll see how Dan Ige holds up to that.
And last question for me. Again, you're not looking past this fight. I'm not looking past this fight. But if everything goes well for you on Wednesday night, do you want to stay active? And if those guys are out there and they're not fighting, is that kind of the hope? You know, maybe get that rematch with Zabit in a main event again, 5 rounds this time, something like that. Like, is that kind of the idea? Would you like to have a very busy schedule, assuming everything goes well for you this weekend?
Yeah.
Or this Wednesday? My
goals post Zabit fight were just to go 3-0 this year. I started out with Jeremy. I have an opportunity with me on Dan Ige, so the quick turnaround kind of got me right back on pace with my goals this year. And, you know, with shit, my bad. What is it? I'm sorry. You said 3-0. It's all good. Fuck me. What'd you say?
With the you know, the activity.
Yeah, I don't care who is next, man. Whoever gets me to that belt, you know, that's the ultimate goal. You know, we want to bring that belt home back to Boston, and you know, win over Dan Ige puts me right back in that mix. And these guys can sit all on the sidelines all they want, but not me. I mean, I choose to stay busy, and these guys all have to deal with me eventually once they sign that contract.
Thanks, Calvin.
Yep, thanks.
Next, we have Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Hey, Calvin, fighting in May in Jacksonville with everything that happened, what do you take most from that experience going into Fight Island in terms of the testing and the quarantine, etc.?
I just think that the UFC is doing a better job at how they're going through their processes. May 9th was their first event, and they did as best as they could, but you know, I think they've tightened up every show, and out here in Abu Dhabi, things protocols are everyone's really safe, and they're going the extra mile. So that's really the main takeaway. Other than that, from a fight standpoint, I'm on to Dan Ige, and everything that happened in May is done, and you know, I have a fight this Wednesday and has my full attention. So I'm focused on Dan Ige and taking him out.
You know, over here, everyone's talking about the NBA bubble as other sports come back. Can you talk about what's life like inside the UFC bubble for a fighter?
pretty similar, man. But fighters, they constantly diet and deal with the different food and I feel like the NBA guys, you go in the locker room at halftime, they got like a green room every night they play basketball. So, they're probably a little more shell shocked to it than we are. But the quarantining we're all gonna deal with it, man. It's a new normal for everybody. But I'm just happy to be out of quarantine for the 48-hour window. I was able to see the island for a little bit, and now weight cut tomorrow, fight day Thursday morning here in Abu Dhabi, and I couldn't be more ready to go.
You go out there, you get a big victory, but you guys are in this bubble where everything is closed. Have you thought about, how to even celebrate under the circumstances?
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate by going home, getting back to work on a full belly. That's it. Nothing changes. There ain't nothing else to do, like you said. I just stay in the gym, and I'll just be doing it with a full stomach.
Yeah, thanks, Calvin.
Thank you.
Next, we have Sumit Data from Sports Kita.
Hey Calvin, hope you're doing good, buddy.
Thanks, doing well.
So first thing I want to ask was, in your last fight at UFC 249, you knocked out Jeremy Stephens. And looking back on that fight, would you consider that as one of the most important victories of your career so far?
I think my most important one right now is my next one, and Dan Ige. That was a good win, but it's just a small checkpoint in where I see myself in the division.
Right. So the UFC 251 fight, the featherweight title fight between Alex Volkanovski and Max Holloway. What did you think of that?
I thought if you scored it as one full round in total, I think you got to give it to Max. But where the scoring system is the way it is, I could see the third round going either way. But where Max controlled the cage the whole fight, dropped him in the first and the second. If it was just scored differently, I think Max might have got the nod.
Right. So if you emerge victorious this week, would you vouch for a title shot next, or would you like to get a few more wins before eventually shifting your focus on the belt?
I'll take that belt as soon as it presents itself. So a win over Dan Ige puts me in that mix, and yeah, the perfect world, I want the champ.
Right, of course. So one final question, do we expect another spectacular finish from you this week?
I'll let the fans decide what they think I'm going to do. I'm going to go out there, just be me, and the finish will come on its own.
Right. Thank you so much, and good luck for the fight.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Augusto Gutierrez from Somos MMA.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
My first question is there anything about this different fight week that affects your preparation? I mean, the fact you have to stay in your rooms doing the quarantine, the tests, does all that affect you?
No, I roll with the punches. I just adjust, and anything that would affect me would also affect Dan Ige. So we're on level playing field, and I think I deal with adversity better than these guys. So I see with the struggle and all this adversity, I think I handle it better. I see it as an advantage for me.
And in your opinion, which is the craziest thing about all this fight week? The travel, the COVID test, the quarantine? What is it?
Craziest thing this week? I don't know. The plane ride here was kind of nice. It was like I was laying flat in the bed. Service was great on the plane. Just couldn't really order all the shit off the menu I wanted to. So I'm hoping to do that on my way home.
And well, talking about the fight, how do you imagine it? Where are going to be the keys for your victory?
Just gotta go out and fight like I can, and I'm gonna look for the finish the whole time, like I always do. And Danny gets a tough competitor, he's supposed to be durable, and we'll see how he holds up to the shots.
And do you think that the time difference will be a factor on the fight?
No, and if it is, it's gonna be a factor for him as well. If anything, it's better for me the way the timings worked out, but I don't get lost in that stuff. When we step in that octagon, it's just going to be simply who's the better fighter, and I'll get my hand raised at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you very much, and good luck on Wednesday.
Thank you. Thursday here, but I'm living in the
All
future.
right, Calvin, that's it for you. Thank you for coming in.
All right, appreciate you. All right, bye, Nobi.
Bye.
are for like the higher management of our partners.
All right, nice.
Like the Abu Dhabi government.
Yep.
So okay, if I just get you to sign.
Cool. You have my.
Yeah. I'll do it outside though.
All right.
So.